because I like to bring awareness to games and things I like, here's another unboxing video. This time is the Slay the Spire card game. So, get this open, see what's inside. I got the collector's edition. And first off, just like the Heroes of Might and Magic board game, Slay the Spire originally was a video game. It is a roguelike deck builder, and it's available, I believe, on pretty much everything. I know it's available on Steam, PS4, and Switch, obviously. I think it's on Xbox, and I believe it's on mobile as well. But the object of the game is to slay the spire. You climb 3 levels to get at the heart of the spire. There's 3 classes originally. They added a 4th one. I believe it's free DLC now. But there's 4 classes in the game. They each have their own unique set of cards and abilities. And as I said, it's a roguelike, so you unlock different relics, different cards, and power-ups and such as you play the game. And each run is going to be different. The enemies will broadcast what they're about to do and what you can do to prevent it, defend it, or kill them before they do it with your hand of cards. It's an excellent game. Highly recommend it. If you can find a way to play it, do so. Alright, so here is the classic camera work. Here's the main box of the game. I don't really have anything to show you how big this is off of scale. Actually, yes I do. Here is a Lego Hulk minifigure next to the Slay the Spire box, so you can get an idea for scale if you know how big they are. If not, here's a Chitauri, so average size Lego minifigure. There you go. You can measure your board games in Lego figures. Slay the Spire comes from Contention Games with Mega Crit providing some consultation on the game. It's for 1 to 4 players. Average playtime is 60 to 90 minutes. The age is 12 plus. So let's take a look in the box. Alright. So first off, we got the rule book, which pretty standard as rule books go. You got your rules, you got your pictures, etc. Looks like there's a campaign or a guide to show you how to do runs. Upgrades and items reference book. Oh, cool. That's cool. Looks like full decks and items, obviously. Oh, neat. A storage guide. Show you how to put it all away when you're done, which more games could do because oftentimes I do not have the space. It looks like, what is this? Stickers? No, come on, you shouldn't even be on the table anyway. How many people are gonna judge that? Okay, some tokens. Looks like some of them have fallen out. I will have to make sure I've got all of those. Alright, now that I'm done panicking stuff was missing, here's the full token board. And thankfully they just were resting on the top here. Continuing here, not quite sure what that is. Some sort of gauge of numbers. Looks like we got the merchant's store. And then, oh, round summary, icon summary. Oh, here we go. This will be neat. This looks like the maps. So you've got your Act 1 map. This looks just like in the game, where you'll choose your path. Usually there's an event here. It could be a wandering monster, could be a story event where you choose, could just be surprise cards, maybe winning a relic. The question marks, which I just explained, are the same thing that I just said. Anyway, the little monster head is just a random monster encounter, and it can be a weak creature or whatever. It doesn't look like they have any of the elite monsters on here, which is a monster head like this, but with curling horns. That's usually where you can get a relic or some sort of extra treasure. The treasure chests, relics, the bag with the money symbol is a merchant. campfire is where you can rest, and sometimes you can upgrade cards there or perhaps eliminate cards from your deck. Ah, there we go. There's, I believe, a double-sided board, so the other side must be a little easier. There's the Act 1 board. Then we've got the Act 2 board here. Oh, okay, there we go. I was like, or Act 3. So it looks like there's two different Act 1s, an Act 2 and an Act 3, just like in the game. So then, continuing, we've got each character right here. The defect. This is the one that I like to play with most in the game. A lot of magic and planning out your turns through the use of what's called orbs that are above the character, and they trigger at the end of turns, or when a new orb, it pushes an old one off of the list, it'll evoke that orb, and it'll do something a little better. So I like the defect. And then we have the Ironclad, which is the starting class in the game, melee fighter, and, you know, all about combat and defense. Then we have the Silent, which I also like the Silent. A lot of poisoning and shivs and damage over time, or a lot of free cards and card draw, not as much defense. And then my least favorite class in the game, the Watcher. I have not figured out how to play with this one in the video game very well. I lose before the first boss quite often with the Watcher. It looks like, oh, I'll have to open these real quick. So we've got, looks like nice little play mats here. The picture of the Spire on that one. This must be where enemies and combat and such take place. I'm not going to open all of these right now, but it looks like there is one for each class in the game. You can get the general idea of how those look. Some nice artwork on those. Looks like we got a storage tray here for when all the tokens get properly punched out. Oh, neat. Oh, the merchant's bag. And inside the bag, coins. Colored cubes. Standard game tokens. Looks like a boot. Is that thing that Mario gets in and has a little wind-up thing? You can jump on Bullet Bill. And bombs and stuff. Little wooden die. That's pretty cool. Underneath the top tray, we have bosses. Let's take a look at some of these. So there's various bosses in the game. Looks like all of them are here in card form. Danu and Deca. You can get a trophy if you eat the one shaped like a donut to kill him. Alright, so there's the bosses. And then it looks like something I cannot grab. There we go. Act 4, or Reach Ascension 10. Oh, neat. Little surprise there. I don't know what's in that pack. Then we've got miniatures. There's the Ironclad. Okay, you don't need to eat the plastic. Be gone. Alright. Continuing onward. Looks like potions and relics. Starter decks for the characters. Some nice sleeves. Just put those back. Looks like bags for each necessary thing that you need to put them in. There's more in here. Got different symbols on those to represent different aspects of the game. Then we've got the cards themselves. Looks like these are the enemies, which I'm not going to go through each one of those, but got the decks of the enemies. We've got the curses. These are the bad cards that can fill up your deck that you have to work to get rid of or can't get rid of. Then more enemies. Wow, look at that. You can see the side, all the different stats. Lots of different variations to play. Secret deck. Looks like the Ironclad's cards. And more, yes. Okay, so these are the player cards. Just do various things from the game, adding strength, straight damage, defense. Looks like some special solo variant stuff. There's Niao, the whale-like beast who gives you blessings at the beginning of the game. More secrets. And looks like more player cards. Yes. A lot of cards to go through. And looks like plenty of sleeves for all of it. Nice storage box here. There's a lot of content from this game. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head what is Kickstarter exclusive and what is not. I'm not a big fan of exclusives or people missing out on things. So I usually back a game and I'll check it on its last day to see if there's any expansions or anything if the game looks really good, but I tend not to track the exclusive stuff. So that's this part of the box. Let's take a look at the other part of the box. And just a quick tip for anybody else doing this game. Look at what you're opening before you cut it. There's a little flap here. I could have opened that. Alright. And then it also came with this box, which I am not sure what is in it. Slow. Looks like... Oh, I was like, that for a merchant bag? Did I get a second bag of coins? Okay. So I believe I accidentally got a second bag of coins, but going back on what I said about exclusives, it looks like here's a nice little box that separates all of the Kickstarter exclusives. And as I said before, I really don't like exclusives. I know that that is incentive to kickstart a game, and it does help sell things, but I also know as a collector who feels the need to inherently get it all when something is announced, these can really hurt the wallet. If you didn't get these, I'm sorry. I do hope there is a way that you can eventually acquire them if you do want them. But here's the little Slay the Spire box. Looks like a mat to replace the merchant. And then some foil versions of the basic cards. I'll open that up in a second. The claw pack, which I believe it's the defect, has claw. It's a 0-cost card that does 3 damage, I think. And when you use it, it puts a copy of it into your deck. I think that's going off of memory. Could be wrong. Looks like some special goals. Oh, okay. And in the video game, when you truly beat the game with a character, one of these goes on to another part that opens up more of the game. It looks like here's a little claw die. Maybe the claw works a little differently. Obviously, I cannot create cards that go into your deck. So, looks like it's a roll. So just opening this up, it looks like there's some blank cards for perhaps making your own. Not quite sure, but this is pretty neat. These foil cards look pretty cool. I believe all of these are in the main game. These are just a special version of them. I really like the foil effect. It looks really neat. I know a video does not quite do it justice, but I like how the card appears metallic. It's not like some games where the foil is just text or maybe just a certain element of the picture, which is not a bad thing. It's just different. This is unique to me. I like this. That's pretty cool. And now they're all mixed up. So that's the exclusives. Look like the exclusives are just some upgrades for the game, which is good. Hopefully no content is withheld from the main box. But that is the Slay the Spire board game. Like all of my games, I cannot wait to get somebody to play with. Open it up, test it out, learn it, run it. And also, one last time, if you have not played this video game, you should. If you like deck building, if you like roguelike games, it seems pretty simple when you first start it, but it's pretty deep, and it keeps you coming back. At least it did for me. So, this is, again, Contention Games with Mega Crit, Slay the Spire. Brand new board game for 2024.